Parks and Wildlife Department is tallying up the damage to the park system from last month's huge wildfires near Fort Davis in West Texas and Possum Kingdom Lake just west of Fort Worth.
Now, that report has good news and bad news, but as Jim Swift tells us new at 5 today, some of the worst news is about the impact of the fires on Parks and Wildlife Department employees.
There it is.
At the State Parks and Wildlife Department headquarters in southwest Austin, more than 500 people turned out to raise over $3,000 at a benefit barbecue.
I think it's important to know that at Parks and Wildlife there is a culture of family, and we very much, as part of our core beliefs, believe in respecting folks and having a lot of compassion and being able to respond to support our colleagues when they're in trouble.
At Possum Kingdom, Park Ranger Scott Parrish was on duty during the wildfire and wound up helping out the firefighters. When he got back to his house, he found it and everything in it destroyed. At Davis Mountain State Park near Fort Davis, flames also wiped out the homes of park employees Jeannie Yarbrough and Ginger McGow.
By the time I got there, which was a day or two after their houses had burned, they were in pretty good spirits. They obviously were saddened by the loss of personal mementos and those kinds of things, but both of them were pretty strong folks and rebounded and were talking about getting back to work and rebuilding their lives. And so, in general, while they were sad about the happenings, they were happy about being able to live and move forward.
Wildfires offer positive and negative benefits. The human costs and property costs are appreciable in this fire that affected well over 2 million acres, and we're very, very sensitive to that. It's also important to recognize that wildfire can have some beneficial impacts on the rangeland and wildlife habitat, particularly if followed by rains. And so we're all hoping that we'll get some steady rains, we'll get out of the La Nina cycle, and we'll see a steady rebound of the habitat that supports a very flourishing fish and wildlife population around the state.
At Possum Kingdom, the fire burned 90% of that park's land, and it may be decades before things are back to normal. But at Davis Mountains, the flames stopped just short of the famous Indian Lodge Hotel, and the park is already back in business. Jim Swift, KXAN, Austin News.